Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see you guys tonight. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. I hope you guys got a chance to check out the audio that I tried to clean up. Um, I put out the video a couple hours ago, and I'll tell you, it was interesting because there were a couple things that I heard in each of the audios. I did try to add the closed captioning to the video, but you can't really tell. Like it was telling me that it couldn't pick up any of the words. So I did my best with it. I did use the audio from Evil Exists, who played it off of Justin's live. So hopefully, if Justin has more of the raw audio, I can maybe do something with it. But of course, I'm sure, and I'm just gonna say this, no matter which apps, I can buy, or do like an in-app purchase for things, it's never going to be as good as the FBI, TBI, maybe some local law enforcement, depending on their resources, right? Because it's a lot about resources. But just that disclaimer on there, because we're going to go over that. But I did want to also go over some confusion with the switches. And I'll say that Seth did tell us that there were two switches that were used at one household, and then the other one stayed at the other household, right? So when you're divorced and you have kids, if they get an electronic, and they're going to be using that electronic at another house, um whoever bought that one really can dictate that the child doesn't bring it to the other parent's house. Well, that's what happened. Katie said, I don't want Sebastian to take the switch to your house. And so Seth bought him a switch for Seth's house. So again, it's a tale of two switches. Um, don't get it twisted, bitches. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's funny. But anyway, um, that's the story, right? Because Seth has told us this. So I know it's difficult because Chris and Katie in their house, they're going to do different things at their house that they will do over at their house, and certain set of rules and things like that. And then you have, what how Seth does things at his house, right? That's how it is when you're co-parenting. And a lot of us understand that because we've been in a co-parenting situation. Um Little Miss Sharon, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here, and good to see you, Seth, also. And thank you so much, Little Miss Sharon. You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. And Witchy Mama, thank you so much for always putting in our disclaimers here tonight. Of course, we like to share the links. You guys can get the links. Seth will put links in the chat also, for let me get a screen. Sorry, guys, I'm behind tonight. There we go. All right. So, but yeah, the links in the chat for the shareable flyers, and if you have tips, if you have information, get it straight over to law enforcement, please. I mean, I can't stress that enough. 911. I heard Smiley did a live earlier. I shared it. She was saying the same thing. Us YouTubers can't do a whole lot with the information. Again, law enforcement's the best resource, the best people to get it to, right? Because I mean, you have all kinds of things that come into play, when we're talking about that. Um, Yeah, no, it's okay, Little Miss Sharon. And then, of course, the child abuse hotline. I don't understand. Someone sent me a story about a lady that got arrested in, I think it was Sumner County, for doing, the same exact thing Chris Proudfoot, has done to Sebastian, and he's still at large. It's mind boggling. So, um, so this is now you can have first place, but you're gonna need to cover Lady Freedom's $900 car payment. Oh my gosh, I am glad that I do not have that kind of a car payment. I don't. No, 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 no. I get the what do they call it? The marketplace special, Facebook marketplace special. So I'm glad you're here, Seth. And thank you so much, Witchy Mama. Yeah, and another thing too, about giving people and using in fair use, under fair use, we can use other people's content, as long as we are transforming it, or if we're, doing criticism, commentary, reporting, teaching. That's why people will say educational and entertainment purposes only, that type of things, right? Research, scholarship, and all of that. But you always want to put the people's links that you're playing their content in your chat, drop it in the chat. And that's where, our wonderful mods come in, right? Because they are so helpful and, really instrumental in, doing how we do a show, right? And again, putting the links in the description of the video, like if it's just a video, that sort of thing is just, it's proper etiquette, it's customary. um Seth is not a creator by choice. Seth is a creator like Brandy Vaughn, somebody who goes on um YouTube to spread awareness, because they have a missing child, not because they decided that they wanted to cover true crime cases or help out, right? But they've been kind of thrust into that position, and not um, by choice. And so, if you're using commentary, for even for fair use commentary purposes, and you're not dropping Seth's links, but you're telling people that they should pay for, new equipment for you, your car payment, your bills in general, and you don't drop the missing child's father's link or try to help out, or you're playing other content creators and you're not dropping links, you know, that's a real shitty person, in my opinion. And then you have to think about how that would make you feel if that was your child. And I mean, so yeah, and I made the AI thumbnail today, and those shoes on the desk, I know, and I said they're not even green. They're not even green shoes. Guys, we do support the petitions here, so if you will please go over, support Dom and Davian's law. We also have Danielle's law that we have linked here too. Javea's law, little Javea Harris. And guys, it really does make a big difference. Change.org, and it'll direct you to other great petitions as well while you're over there. So today we do have trigger warnings like all the time, all day. And also, here's some more great flyers to share. Please share, like I said, Brandy Vaughn's little son, Michael Monkey Vaughn's flyer, please. And also Summer Wells, Devlin Tate. And of course, we always have Sebastian's flyer as well. But it's just a great way to show awareness, and it's easy to do. Like, you could just pick one of the kids, and share their flyer out. It's a great way to spread awareness, and it's really easy. It's just a digital, awareness. So, hey, Stacy, good to see you, and thank you for being here. Gail, I hope you're doing very well. We're always thinking about you and your husband. And um, hello, Coffee Crime and Cats. I know, I know. I love how you guys are like, what are those shoes on the desk? I love it. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Well, there were shoes in both rooms, so I was like, I really do want to leave the shoes in there, because you guys know what I think. I think that there was a big mistake with the shoes. So, aw, thank you, Seth. Thank you very much. And hello, Deborah Dixon. Good to see you. So I got that audio for you guys because Deborah Dixon was nice enough um, to remind us also in the, because we were talking about it in the Discord also about getting that audio kind of cleaned up, right? And I did try to look for the best way to do it. They, of course, said, you have to use. Um, a little you have to kind of do it a little differently than a normal audio since it's coming from a ring camera. So I was like, okay. And again, that's like way above my pay grade, so, or my knowledge even. So hello, Detroit, so good to see you. And Bo is here. Hey guys. I'm doing better now, just figured I had to call. Ah. So let's see here. I want to shout everybody out in the chat, just making sure I get everybody. And I know I'm probably pretty behind. So, oh gosh, you guys with the TPOs. Oh, a golden orb spider? Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I don't like spiders. Oh, Hello, Sharon Marlowe. Good to see you. So, hello, Titch. Hey, Titch. So good to see you. And Christy Smith is here. Hey, Christy Smith. Pair of sneakers on the desk. Hey, Cajun. Good to see you. And also, doubling up on devices is common when kids are living in two places. Yeah, definitely. Happens with my grandbabies. Well, and I mean, sometimes it's like if your child really enjoys that gaming system and you know that you can't afford another one, I can also see why you would do that, right? Like, let's just keep this one here and let dad get you one for there, because, and especially, traveling and all of that kind of stuff. So I totally get it. I did want to pull in a part of Seth's live too, but I know that there was another one. I know it's been mentioned before several times, but I know we need to really get a timeline, going as well. So, hello, Mama Rissa. So good to see you, Mama Rissa. And Show Poodles is here. Hello, Show Poodles. So, never behind, just divine timing, right? Witchy, I love that. Oh gosh, because I'm just always like, I'm so behind the chat. Sorry, guys. Hey, Brad, good to see you. And Shadow is here. Hello, Shadow. Oh, of course, Mama Marissa. Mama Marissa says, I just wanted to thank everyone that said a prayer for me the other night. I'm out of the hospital and doing much better. We are so glad to hear that, Mama Marissa, and thank you for the update. And, you know, always, anytime, and you guys don't ever be shy to ask for prayers because I believe in prayers and it just helps people feel, like they're not in it alone, too. So, hey, little brat, good to see you. So, yes, Seth says, I'm glad you're doing better, Mama Rissa. Yeah. Yeah, it is great to hear. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I do not like having to go to the hospital, go into the doctor, any of that stuff. Cars are so expensive these days, you might as well buy a brand new one. Yeah, well, I mean, I I know, but you know what though? I'm just kind of like I don't want the car payment. Um And what's funny about cars is they're the only thing that you'll buy that depreciates in value. Like when you drive it off the lot, it's a bad investment, really. I mean, so, but luckily, but yeah, I mean, I've had some good lucks. Hey Tam, I've had some good luck with the marketplace. Like if you can get, but I know what you mean. Like people are, you know, well, you get attached to your car and you're like, it's a good car. I understand that. So, hey, Robat, good to see you. I watched a creator for a while tonight who used clips from other creators and did not give any credit or drop their links. Some people think they have become so important, in my opinion. Yeah, I watched the same thing, and it was just because it was like brought to my attention, and I was like, well, I don't understand. that either. And I also just think, especially if you're making a lot of money off of a missing child's case, and that father of that child or mother or family is gracious enough to, allow for you to use their content or be in your chat, like, you should definitely drop their links when you're playing their content. um, because you do want people to be able to go over and get the information from Seth. So it's tough, Sharon, because, and I think a lot of you guys, I know you guys know this, but it's like Seth will be, answering questions, and it takes a lot of time out of his time finding Sebastian, but it also helps bring understanding. Um, and if he, when he does his lives and stuff like that, it's a good opportunity because he doesn't delete any of his lives, he leaves them up so we can go back and listen to them, because um, he knows best, right? That's Sebastian's dad, and he knows best, and he's gracious enough to answer the questions. So it's kind of rude of us, and like disrespectful of his time, for us to continue to ask the same questions over and over and over again, um, in my opinion. Now, do we forget things? Of course. Sebastian's case has been very chaotic, and it's one of those things where we've kind of learned a lot more information as of lately than we've known for this whole time. But some of us have been, suspecting it, or it's come out as like a rumor, but it was really not a rumor, so it can be confusing. Hello, Jen. Good to see you. But the good saving grace is that we have Seth that'll come out and he'll talk to us about Sebastian's case. We don't get that same energy from Chris or Katie, right? They don't come out and answer questions for people about Sebastian's case. They come up and, want to just sit there and talk in bullshit with whoever they're on the panel with, right? They're looking for friends, um, in my opinion, to chum up with, and not really look for Sebastian or help the public understand what could have happened to him, right? Because we're here to listen and help, right? Like, we're here, and we're all here and saying, how can we help find Sebastian? That's the most asked question in the interviews across the board, is what can we do, as in the what can the public do to help find Sebastian? Always. And I'm talking about looking at the list of questions that Bo puts together, right? And looking at those questions and seeing time after time, what can we do to help? How can we help? What can we do? And that's from a lot of people, right? And there's a lot of people out there that can lend a hand and have a significant impact on pushing the case forward. And that's down to anybody. It doesn't matter if it's somebody as great and well known as Chris McDonough, or a Nancy Grace, or a Vinnie Politan, but it goes all the way down to any of us too. It goes down to a little channel like mine, a little channel like Jen. Astrology for Mystics with Jen does extraordinary work. She works so hard at what she does, and for somebody to cover their work with ours is not only bad, poor etiquette, but it's something that is not going to be looked at kindly upon by people who care about those other people and about working together as a team. Because again, we all have something to bring to the table. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you don't have a degree, you don't have this. I don't care. It could be the most uneducated, perceptive, as perceptive person in the chat, right? It could be anybody out there that doesn't have any type of law enforcement background or anything, right? Um, it's all, excuse me, it's all open to perception, is what I'm trying to say. And somebody could look down on somebody else and say, well, you don't know anything. I have a degree. Well, so what? They might have some more common sense than you do. Did you ever fucking think about that? Arrogant asshole. Arrogant asshole. Did you think of that? Okay, I promised myself I wasn't going to get like this, but I'm telling you, it upsets me. And, Jen, I appreciate everything that you do. And how gracious you are to share other people's, work and do um, highlight them and highlight their strengths. You know, I appreciate you tremendously, Jen. I don't know, but all I know is that, when you have a father of a missing child and he's trying to find his son, he doesn't need the extra either. I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of catching up in chat, so I said something that was kind of said in the chat. I apologize. I'm just scrolling down. And hello, Coffee Crime and Cats, good to see you. Oh gosh, guys, it's gonna be fall time with spiders. I don't like spiders. So hello, Lyra, good to see you. And I'm sorry if I miss anybody, guys. And welcome in, welcome in. Yeah. Well, it's exhausting when you're looking for your missing son and people are taking advantage. Titch. It really is. It really is. And Seth does an amazing job in the lives, and it's very sweet of him to come out and do the lives with us and be so interactive with the crowd, because he could just come up and say whatever he wants to say and then leave the stream and never interact with any of us or answer any of our questions or anything. And he does that because he's trying to get help finding his missing son. you know Good to see you, Nancy Fleming. And how do you think he is put in a position, in my opinion, how do you think it feels for Seth to be in the position where you're asking for help and then people are acting a fool? And then, you know, if you say something, then that's one less person to help. Because, you can't get through to some of these people who are that arrogant, and they don't understand it. They never will, you know? So, yeah. Ava Ava says I came in on the arrogant A. I think I better rewind. Well, I mean, I haven't said anything that's too direct. It's just, I mean, when people act like that, it's just frustrating to me. Hey, Poppy love, good to see you. It's frustrating because those are the wrong things to focus on a lot of the times, but I think it does matter. I think it does matter, because there's been a lot of turmoil, um, just in Sebastian's case that's not necessary. And people that don't understand that it's more important to work together than it is to um, be an arrogant asshole. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mama Rissa, and good to see you couponing. Seth's answers are always consistent. Yeah, yeah, it says everything, and also I think it says everything that he's willing to come out and talk and so freely about it, because some people will only do interviews when they know the questions that are going to be asked, or, what have you. So it's like very impromptu um with Seth too. So, and like he was saying in the one live, he doesn't um like filter through the questions or anything and be like, well, I'm only going to answer the questions of people I like. I'm only going to answer the people's questions that I want to. Like, he was answering them all. So, but that's a good thing because he's trying to find Sebastian. So, um, but at a certain point, we're going to have to, you know, realize that what he's saying is important to finding Sebastian. It's very important to finding him, and so we need to listen to him. We need to stop the chatter for a minute and just listen. Don't think about the questions you're going to ask him. Listen to what he's saying first, and then there can be questions. But if people are just really busy chatting in the chat, they're not going to be able to pay attention to what Seth is saying on the panel. And look, I'm guilty of that too, because there's been times where I've been on the panel and then I'm also in the chat, modding. And so it's like a lot going on, right? And you can't always really concentrate. So that's why it's important to go back and watch these videos of his. So that way it'll be like, oh yeah, he did talk about that, right? Because I mean, there are so many questions that Seth has answered. And then also, um, interestingly enough, like Mama Marissa is saying, if you go back to Seth's other times of talking and his answers are the same. He's been saying the same things. He's been saying that Sebastian had a really hard time living at Chris and Katie's. Again, that had to be really difficult for him to go out on a limb against Chris and Katie, especially when Chris likes to threaten people and he wants to be so aggressive. Um, and they're the ones that had Sebastian in their care at the time. So that just shows, in my opinion, that they're being defensive. So why would you be defensive? And that's where that kind of comes in. But yeah, Mom Marissa, I mean, we haven't seen the same thing from Chris or Katie. So um and then and then also like with the calling of 911, right? Which it's so important. It's so important. Yeah, he is, Christy. Yeah, definitely. And Kchen says, I think Seth does a better job than most would. I know I couldn't do it, and I know Tony is smiling down on him for how well he is handling it. Yeah, I think so too. Like, that is so well said, Kchen. And like, I think I would be a raging bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't think that many people would like me very much because I would just be really upset too with everything happening. And it's horrible when you have to, you know, curb your own feelings because you know that you're trying to find your son, and it's a horrible situation to be in. And then some people can't even think about that. Good to see you, Bluegrass Meadows. Um, so Jen says, I totally agree, Kate Jen. Yeah, yeah. Yes, they are. Most of the information we have is only because of Seth, and when you listen to the Proudfoots, that's what causes confusion and mayhem. Yeah, and Titch, that's happened from the very beginning with them. That it's always been like that. So, and they definitely lied from the very beginning. Hey, SI officer, good to see you. Yeah. I don't know. I just did an AI because I said, can you make it a cartoonish bedroom? Because of course, those are not we first of all, if somebody starts circulating a picture of Sebastian's bedroom, like his actual bedroom, I would think that that would be really creepy. So people that are making replicas, maybe, I don't know, that was weird. Um Yes, Desiree, Kyron's mom. Yes, exactly. Yeah. All examples of amazing parental strength and grace. Yeah. Well, and they just don't want anybody else to go through what they're going through. So they're like having to be an advocate. And, um, yeah, I mean, look, we need to be more service minded when we're dealing with families. Otherwise, it does ring tragedy vulture, you know. It just does. Hello, Holly. Good to see you. So, because I mean, I do think tragedy vultures are a thing. Um, so I have English lit degree, but I did that later in life, and I was always successful career wise until I got sick 3 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, Titch. Well, look, I think that it doesn't matter who we are. I mean, it's like thinking outside of the box, you know? And we need to be open-minded in Sebastian's case because none of us know. You know, the clickbait is insane with that too. None of us know. No one's going to reveal. Nobody's going to have bombshell evidence. If you see that, I mean, I can't tell you where to hang out. I won't even tell you to hang out where to hang out, but that's not the place, in my opinion, especially if somebody's begging, to pay the bills all the time and then not helping other people. But they're doing it off the backs of other people. It's disgusting. Robat says, I have a question for Seth. Oh, Granny's watching live last week. CP said that the police searched the landfill with a cadaver dog and were able to find their household trash. What do you think that mean? What do you think that meant? Um, I will definitely get that question over to Seth because I know he'll do another live. I'm just not sure when. I'm sure he'll do another live. I'll just say that. Um, so yeah. Well, and it's so hard. I can't even imagine what it would be like having to remember what happened 2.5 years ago. I mean, a day like that, I'm sure it's always going to be like, something you'll not forget. But then also, it's like the details because I mean, I wouldn't be looking to see who is wearing what or anything like that, right? I mean, I'd probably be more focused on like what my child's bedroom looked like, stuff like that. And that's where the switch stuff comes in, right? Seth was saying Sebastian had a switch in his bedroom and it was lying on the floor plugged in, right, over at his mom's house. But his switch at his house is also in his own bedroom, right? And it's Sebastian's responsibility to keep his items plugged in so they're charged when he wants to use them and things of that nature. Sebastian also had an older, um, what are those things called? Tablets that the police also took into evidence, but it took them a while to get it turned on, I suppose. So, uh, Cajun, exactly. It's easy to be consistent when you're telling the truth. Well, and that's it. It's really easy. It's really, really easy. Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Because even if you recall other details and stuff like that, it's just yeah. Because once you tell a lie, you have to that up and cover that one up, and yeah, it's just you can't keep up with all of it, you know? My daughter moved back home with her cat, but she's an indoor cat, otherwise my neighbor feeds all the neighborhood strays, so they take care of it in the yard. Aw, that's sweet. Right? And Mama Marissa says, "Yes, lady, it's hard to listen when I'm having to give someone the boot." Exactly, or put them in a timeout or something, and then they come back as an alt account, and then you're like, "Damn it." And then you're really playing Whack-A-Troll. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's funny. I don't have any alts, I just have my one channel, that's it. Um, but no. Oh, I know. Jen, and the burden that Seth has to carry too, because it's like when Truth was talking to him on his panel and he's like, well, I don't see you doing stuff like this. It's like, well, because sometimes you do have to make moves in the background. You can't always just, tell everybody what you're doing until after it's done, right? Because there's a lot of people. I mean, a really good example of that is like the petition. It's like we could spread the petition out there, but then if other people are making petitions and taking the signatures from Seth's petition and putting him on another one, and any of us could go out there and think that we're signing the right petition, but we're really signing the wrong one. I mean, that's that troll behavior that is, like off the charts because again, You know, people be like, I did sign the petition for Sebastian. It's like, well, you didn't sign the one that we needed you to. And they do that shit on purpose, and it's all by design, you know, just like dividing the community with doing what, you know, doing these types of things that, you know, we're talking about tonight. And again, you know, I wanted to get you guys the audio. I have to prioritize things, and my priority was trying to get that audio to you guys so you can listen to it. And you know, hey Peggy, and I wanted you guys, hello Poppy Love, to get and Janet is here. Welcome in, guys. Hey IML, sorry guys, welcome in. But I would rather get that out to you guys than to get out the crap about Mob Crew, right? Like, because I'm going to address that further. I am going to address it further because, again, like I said, I'm not going to allow for somebody to be a bully like that, to do the things that he's doing in Sebastian's case. And I mean, it is not right, you know. And again, if you're sharing out information from Seth's live, the least you can do is, you know, drop his link in the chat. So, and again, I will do that too while we play this. So I'm gonna get this. You're welcome, Titch, of course. Yeah, and you know, and I also want to say too, guys, that none of us creators are better than the next one, right? Like, so, any bit of technology that is out there. Hey, Blessed in Florida, good to see you, Huckleberry. Um, any of that stuff is readily available to every single one of us. Every single one of us out there can go to the App Store, download an app. Any single one of us can access software. Any single one of us can get our hands on many of the tools that are out there to do a whole array of things, right? Um, no matter what any of the other people tells you, like when it comes to like Mob Crew, for example, if he tells you that he's the king of audio or the king of editing, video, surveillance footage, any of that kind of stuff, um, just know that anybody else can get their hands on civilian software. The important thing to remember is that we are not law enforcement, and law enforcement has the best tools, and they are the only ones that will be able to bring charges right against Chris and Katie Proudfoot. So I just want to put that out there too, because again, there's a lot of common misconceptions that have been swirling around, um, and it just keeps on continuing. And it's the same group of people that are doing it over and over and over again, and then making money off the backs of everybody else, including Sebastian Rogers. And yes, I'm talking about Mob Crew IML. So it's been going on for far too long. All right, so with that, I'm going to play this little piece from Seth's live about the switches. Right, we have a lot to get into tonight, so let me get this started for you guys. And just bear with me here. Okay, yeah, got it. I just want to make sure I was at the right timestamp.
Or he went to bed, or text, or called anyone before bed?
Nope.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space?
We got an ad going.
With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom.
Okay.
I want to know why law enforcement still has my son's Switch. He didn't have a Nintendo account, so he had no access to speak to anybody, and he wasn't at my house when he went missing. I want to know why law enforcement didn't go in and take electronics from their house until I was literally went to go pick up the electronics that they were letting me have back from my house.
That is so strange. That is so strange that they it's almost like they treated your house like Sebastian went missing from your house, because they took several things from your house that you wouldn't expect. I mean, I guess take it from everywhere, but like a lot of people were asking about the cars being well, I shouldn't say cars. Chris's truck being searched, Katie's SUV being searched, and then Katie's work van being searched. And I don't know if we have clarification on that or
I
not.
don't. I have no clarification because I don't know. I know that they didn't look through mine.
And they should. I mean, they should have, because
Hey, I am 100% down for whatever you're going to do. You can do it. Don't hold me separate from what you're doing with them. If you want to put me through everything that you're going to put them through, so be it. You want to come in here with luminol, you want to luminol my truck, you want to bring dogs, I don't care. I want my son found.
Absolutely. But here's the weird thing, is that it doesn't seem like they investigated anything. Like, if they didn't do it anywhere,
Discovery.
that's also weird.
Discovery. I'm
Right.
praying for discovery.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Bo's asking if you saw the clothes from the Texas Roadhouse when you were at their house. Oh, sorry guys. Thank you, Titch. I was muted there for a minute. Thank you so much for that, Titch. But yeah, so what I was saying, hey Holly, what I was saying was, if you want to listen to more of what Seth has to say about the Texas Roadhouse close, go over to his channel and watch him, listen to him, take notes down. A lot of us have information because we listen to Seth in his lives. But if you're too busy worried about putting your own stuff over what he's saying and distracting people away from what he's saying, then that's probably why you're getting a lot of this misinformation and you're putting it out there in Sebastian's case. Whether you're doing it on purpose or where you're doing it on accident because you're just not really listening to what's going on. But a lot of the times that's what people are doing. And so don't take it from me. Go over to Seth's channel. That's the link in the description. Subscribe to his channel and then go back to the beginning and watch his videos. He has told us so much information that we need to be listening to, because when people are out there saying that they have Sebastian's I don't know, I guess you would call it data, but you could never have that stuff. But they're alleging that they have evidence in this case, and they have the times that Sebastian would have been on his Switch. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows what time Sebastian was on his Switch at his mother's house. As a matter of fact, that person was going off of, hey, MCE, good to see you. That person was going off of information that was false because they weren't listening. They weren't listening to what Seth is saying. They're too busy putting their own stuff on it and then putting it out there as it's their own and never putting ways to support Seth. Like, Seth is trying to find his missing child, so the least we can do is post a Cash App in case one of you guys, out of the kindness of your heart, would like to donate to that cause. It's not just about these creators. It's about finding the missing, and the only way that we can help find the missing is to help their family members. I mean, pull your head out of your ass, please. People say there would be an arrest by now, and it's so dumb. Well, and you know, Holly, they've been saying that for so long, and it's like we can clearly see that Sumner County is corrupt, especially they're getting sued. They're getting their butts sued now, and so is CPS, and they all knew about it, you know? So, yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I appreciate people who are asking the hard questions like, what about the lights video? Because even though I think that the flashlight video is something, right? And if I didn't think that the flashlight video was something, then I really, really, really wouldn't be able to have my second theory, right? I have a theory on Sebastian not making it home. I have a theory on him making it home. So, but you can't have both, right? You can't be like, well, the flashlight video is also something. I mean, perhaps it has something to do with it, but I doubt it. Maybe I should say it that way. But yeah, you know, Deborah, you're right. Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of corruption in other places. You know, it's not just Sumner County, Pima County, and you know, I'm not big into Nancy Guthrie's case, but I will say that, I mean, it doesn't seem like you guys like Nanos very well, and I know a lot of you have followed it more than me. So, but I've seen the corruption in Sumner County. I've been there. I've, you know, experienced it. And so it's like, I know for a fact, and I can say it with, you know, full certainty, especially now that I've seen the filing, you know, again, it just solidifies it too. So, hello, Jules. Good to see you. Hey, Jules. And hey, Joe. Good to see you. So, there has, yeah, exactly, Cajun, exactly. Yeah, just because there hasn't been an arrest doesn't mean there isn't suspects. They botched it so much on day one that they have to get it right, in my opinion. No room for error. Well, and that, you know, I think that that's a really good point too. You know, I mean, it's like, I feel like they made a big mistake also on day one, not bringing everybody down to the station and just allowing for Chris and Katie to come into the house, other people coming in, even Seth, you know, and so I know Seth has said that too. He's like, I mean, if they're not checking me out, why, you know, then they're not checking other people out. And, you know, they have just really botched it. You're so right. They really have botched it. It's crazy, you know. Lady, the flashlight video discrepancies, I believe, is Ellie trying to protect the case, and that might be strongest evidence they do have, allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah, MCE, that's, you know, a great point, and I agree with that. Like, I think if Sebastian made it home, it's definitely the flashlights, right? And otherwise, I wouldn't have talked about it so much, right? But then again, I have to consider that if Sebastian didn't make it home and they are showing Seth a proof of life video for the Texas Roadhouse and not like the trash being taken out, or proof that Sebastian made it home, and then they're saying there's no proof that Sebastian left the house. It's like, what do you mean? Because we know definitely that there's proof that he left the house the first time and made it to the Texas Roadhouse, because there's video of him there. There's also video of him at the Strike and Spare as well. So we know that the comment that they made has to be pertaining to him leaving the house that night, right? The night in question when he went missing. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a great point. And, I mean, Eric Craddock did say that, it's of no evidentiary value, but that it's going to go into Sebastian's case file, so yeah. Oh yeah. Holly, I've heard too, that he is just as bad as Craddock. Yeah, I've been following it for a little bit, and he's awful. He's as bad or worse than Craddock. Oh my gosh. I mean, and that's the thing that is unfortunate, because we have good people and we have people that are, corrupted. I mean, it's just like, I hope they find Nancy Guthrie. I do. I do. And I think it's really sad. I do. So it's everywhere. Show poodles. It is. It truly is everywhere. So Little Brat says Sheriff Doodoo Head. Absolutely. They didn't even secure the home. No. Mm-mm. No. And that was the first day. First day. And then they go to Seth's house and they're taking the switch. They're taking the switch out, and it's like, what, really? So it's amazing. That's amazing to me as well, that they would do that. And the real question, I guess, would be, did all of the electronic devices from Chris and Katie's house get returned to their house? And I even think Seth has answered that, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure he did. So I agree, but I don't think that the jury, as Tennessee, in my opinion, that state needs to start from scratch by the sounds of it. Well, and Titch, it's just, I think people are afraid to stand up for what's right. And we see that all the time in a lot of different circumstances where there's much less riding on it. People are definitely afraid to stick up for what's right. And again, I know that we have mixed reviews or feelings about Elevated Truth, what he said. I definitely do. Just speaking for myself, and knowing that, he's getting completely attacked right now. You know what I mean? From all sides. And so it's like, if he's just coming out and telling the truth, I feel sorry for him that he's getting attacked like that. I mean, and we need to pray that the truth comes out. I mean, it's just sad. Yeah, exactly, Janet. Hey, Janet. The fact that Sebastian was abused at their home and still no accountability. I mean, it's outrageous. It is completely outrageous. There has been so many great people sending in tips and important tips, and all the things we know of have been sent in, and nothing comes from it. And what does that tell you? Yeah. Well, and I will say, Deborah, it's so hard, because a lot of times I do believe that these people are sending this into law enforcement. Law enforcement seemingly doesn't do anything with it, and so it goes out to the public. And we, the people, can definitely get together and make a stink about it and put on public pressure, and it's not about like doing anything crazy or outrageous ourselves. It's just about standing up and saying, hey, what about Sebastian Rogers, right? What about all of the tips that have come in? You mean you have no evidence at all? Do we need a second pair of eyes on this? What do we have to do to push this forward? I mean, with these filings, it really shows us, like Janet said, what Sebastian was going through in that house. And I mean, it is disgusting, horrible. We have a YouTuber who doubled down again last night. I just haven't had a chance to get the video out to you guys, but Elevated Truth doubled down again last night. And he's like, I might have had some issues with some of his seizure medications that he was taking, that causes some side effects of like raging out. I'm not sure. But anyway, he's like, I still was telling the truth. He continues, even though he's having tomatoes thrown at him, is standing up there and saying, I'm still telling the truth, you know? And it shouldn't be like that. The truth should not destroy you. The truth should set you free. But when you have a bunch of people who want to continue to keep the truth hidden because they don't want to be wrong, again, arrogant assholes. Arrogant assholes. You know? Rosebud says, sometimes I feel like some creators go through a theory and see if it will stick. And the right track to go by is, though, this litigation. This is a legal way for everything to be brought to the table. Yeah, Rosebud, and I totally get that. Like, I think it's a great thing to theorize. And, the thing is like, if we put things out there as creators, we're also trying to like spark up a conversation about it. Like, what do you guys think about this? Or, it's funny that Chris and Katie said this, or what about when Seth said that, and that's always a good thing to do. I don't like the clickbait stuff, green hoodie revealed or any of that kind of stuff, because it's just not right. It's not right to do in these cases, because when you do stuff like that and you say that you have evidence and that you have better tools than the FBI, that you could do a better job, and you have like this cult like following and sheeple instead of people, it isn't good. It's not a good thing. And then again, when you're not remembering the feelings of the missing child's family, it's just it's very awful to have to sit there and watch all of that and not say anything about it, because you don't want, again, tomatoes thrown at you. Well, I don't care. I would love to have audio of the conversation between I think maybe hold on a little bit. Sebastian and KP in the Texas Roadhouse. Oh yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Or even see Katie's, expressions, like, full on, instead of, like a different camera angle, because we can see Sebastian, but if we were able to see Katie on that different angle, it would be interesting too, I think. Kjen says, if the flashlights weren't real, then why was a flashlight the only thing that Sebastian left with? Convenient. Exactly. Well, and I mean, that's so true. The flashlight wasn't even brought into the mix until a little bit later. Like, it was definitely not in their initial stories. I know definitely by March 17th, when they were on Duchess for the Missing, I think that was the first time we heard about the flashlight, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's quite a bit of time after he went missing to bring that up. And then Katie would bring in things like, I drove up to the school. Like, when she said she drove up to the school and she told that to Chronicles of Olivia, that was because she was caught on camera at the school. And the more information, and I'm so glad you brought this up too, Kjen, because the more information that was coming out was because of what Katie was learning behind the scenes, and how the audio and stuff that I was even working with today came from apparently one of the Ring cameras in the neighborhood. And all of that stuff was being uploaded to like Facebook groups. And Katie was able to stay ahead of the game a little bit, in my opinion. And she was able to kind of add to her story to make it more believable, like the flashlight, So, yeah, absolutely. And they were helping her do it. The police were helping her do that kind of stuff too, you know, because they were keeping them updated on everything they were doing. And you just don't do that in a missing child's case, or you don't do that in a criminal manner. Sorry, matter. I guess it would be manner. I guess they are acting in a criminal manner, but I meant to say matter. But I mean, whew. Rosebud said when the discovery is allowed legally to be seen, it may be sealed from the public. I agree that could be a possibility. Yeah, I agree that could be a possibility. The good thing is that um, at least Seth will know, and then he will be able to proceed. You know, but I agree that is a possibility. Yeah, I mean it could be a probability, of course, too. What I find surprising is how many missing children over there have CPS involvement previous. Yeah. Yeah, Lara. And it's unfortunate because we do see these elements all the time where CPS was involved. With Sebastian's case, it is excessive, though. In my opinion, it is completely excessive to have CPS, And I remember when Mr. and Mrs. E were talking about with Tony, right? We're talking about the CPS reports and everything, and Aunt E also, on Mr. and Mrs. E's crime cast. It's like, I mean, they were even in shock. Like we were all shocked, but it was just like it was shocking to hear how many times. Like they're like, wait, 5 reports altogether? Wow. Like it was shocking to know that, right? Because we knew there was involvement, but not to that level. So SI officer says I really don't think he'd go through this and the repercussions and tell a lie. I do believe a certain degree of what came out, if not all of it, and I just haven't heard it all, in my opinion. Yeah, and it's been hard to keep up with it as well because a lot has come out. I mean, a lot has come out. But he continues to say that what he was saying is true, and he said it again last night, you know? MCE says that if CP and KP didn't have anything to hide, then why wouldn't they call the marshals in? They have more slack laws than local LE, and I feel they would have given Seth answers by now, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, all great questions. I mean, they should have. I mean, I just feel I will say I just feel like they had enough with the CPS reports back in September of 2022 on to understand what happened right off the bat. And if that was all just a big coincidence and didn't have anything to do with Sebastian's case, then we would have probably seen photos or video or some indication that Sebastian left the house that night, but we don't have that. So, well, thank you so much, Blessed in Florida. Yeah, pray that the truth comes out and pray for Sebastian and Seth. And that's the best thing that we can do, you know? Yeah, Deborah, and that's the thing. The public pressure right now is so important. We cannot afford to like crack under the pressure ourselves. We can't because we need to take all of that pressure, all of that energy, and put it on to Sebastian's case. That's what we need to do moving forward and continue to keep pressing on with it. So I think the litigation is a great strategy. Right. I mean, it's also about getting, justice and everything. It really is. And I mean, Seth is doing every single thing he can do. I mean, so Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too, Rosebud. I would think that that pressure would light a fire under their asses. But I agree with Cajun. They have to be perfect. They got to get everything. They got to make sure that there's no mistakes because we look at cases like Letitia Stout with Gannon. They did find Gannon, but here she is again, getting a new trial because something was screwed up. I mean, she's already been convicted and sentenced, and look, she got a new trial for herself. So, um, really got to get it right the first time. Alicia says, in my opinion, everything we see blatantly obvious proof is admissible because LE's so bad that they know they can't use any of it and have to pray for a miracle piece of evidence plops on their desk. And, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if they have more evidence than we know about or what. I mean, but I think that they really dropped the ball on purpose and they thought we would all forget about it, and we never have. They underestimated the situation entirely. They didn't think anybody was going to give a hoot about what was going down in Sumner County, Tennessee. And, when it involves a young man like Sebastian Rogers, and back then, arguably a kid, right? He's 15 years old. People are going to care. So, has anybody used a switch? I don't know how many people have used a switch. That would be a good poll, Joe. So, Seth is now over the target. Now over the target, discovery and depositions will shine lights on what's been kept in the dark. Yes, exactly. Blessed in Florida. And again, I also want to remind people, I mean, he's asking for a new investigation into all of this. And I think it's very well deserved, and necessary. So, yeah, and that was the thing too. I don't even know what type of switch, and neither does I don't think anybody does unless it's out there somewhere, but I don't think we really know what types of switches they have, but I think you know, in my opinion, I don't think that's as relevant. Now, I mean, can you pull information off of the switch? Sure. There could always be a piece of digital evidence or data that can be pulled in. Most definitely. So, yeah, you got to pay for, yeah. And of course, it would have to be linked up to the internet and paid for, pay for through Wi-Fi and that. So, yeah. Oh, Melissa is the first person who mentioned it. Oh, see? Oh my gosh, Cajun. Oh my gosh. And that's a whole nother thing because they were talking so much about it, in the beginning. They were talking a lot on yes, on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and she also said that they were searching since 6:30 and all of that kind of stuff. Aw, Blessed in Florida, that's so cute. Thank you so much for the jewels. So I wanted to pull this in with you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cajun. Let's see. Let me see what I got. Let me see. Yeah, they definitely underestimated Seth's love for his son, the way that he would fight for Sebastian, the whole 9 yards. They underestimated the whole thing. Oh, okay. So yeah. Oh gosh, Cajun it says February 27th. Hey everyone, this is my nephew. He is high functioning verbal autistic. He walked out of the house in the middle of the night last night with his glasses and a small flashlight and no shoes. We have been searching since 6:30 a.m. yesterday. They are searching the 10 miles around his house, but I'm worried that he may have gotten in the back seat of a car, fell asleep, and woke up after someone got to their job and got out of the car. It's possible, I'm trying to think outside the box to help find him. It's just so hard. You never know how kids think. Please keep a lookout. Thanks. Wow. Okay, so yeah. Thank you, Cajun. Wow. Okay, so yeah, she is saying on February 27th on a Facebook post. I will definitely add this into a video also. Oh my goodness. Yeah, clearly right here. He walked out of the house in the middle of the night with his glasses, a small flashlight, and no shoes, excuse me, and no shoes. No shoes has always been that part of the story, you know? Oh, wow. So Melissa mentions it on day 2. Hello, Scranton Strangler. Wow. It is kind of like a Game Boy. Yeah, it is kind of like a Game Boy. It's like a handheld, the little handheld console. Yeah, yeah, handheld. Thank you, Joe. Um, Rosebud says yes, blessed in Florida. I agree with you. It's not us that need to know everything. It's Seth, and he will get answers. We just need to let him know we support him and are praying for Sebastian to be found. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, support him, drop his links, drop anything you can to support the father of a missing child. Do you guys think that Haley's Law was passed for free? Because it hasn't been. They've had a GoFundMe for Haley since day one, and they've raised tons of money. They've done car wraps for her. They've done all kinds of things. And it's because the community is out there doing the most to support as much as they can do. They're not worried about any of the other stuff. They're just worried about helping the family do whatever they can so that no other family goes through this again. These things like Sebastian's Law, that's going to take everybody to work together. And if we have a bunch of assholes out there, arrogant ones at that are going to continue on and on and on and causing divides and causing rifts and causing trouble, then we don't need that. What we need to do is focus on what's important and what's right. So, no ifs, good to see you. In my opinion, the botching continued through the extended accompanied by retrieval trip of the RV, which allegedly was a duplicate model within the family. One-sided investigation. Never too late, LE. We're waiting. And that's it. Like, if they go back over the investigation, right? If the FBI takes over the case and they see where they botched everything, there's going to be hell to pay. And that's what they're avoiding. They don't want anybody else to get a hold of the case, in my opinion. You know, they don't want to do that. They do not want to do that. So, yes. Thank you, Cajun. I was like, oh my gosh. So, hey, YouTuber is here. Good to see you, hon. So, All right, guys. So I do want to show you guys. Yeah, damage control. Exactly, Cajun. Damage control for sure. For sure. And saying that she was out there at 6:30 in the morning. It's like, but they didn't even call the police until 6:32. 6:33 is when the dispatch audio came in. 6:32 was when Katie was driving around the neighborhood with her windows rolled up. My bad. Yes, and not a call to 911. Not a call to 911. So, yes, thank you. Thank you, Witchy Mama. So, I mean, and that's the thing, guys. another really important thing to remember is getting things from Seth and getting things from the source is a good way to make sure that you're supporting the correct person and the correct cause. You know, not somebody who's going to clickbait you. All right, so I want to show you guys this video I made, and it's going to be 5 different audio samples. So bear with me on this. Okay. Let's put it back up here. Okay. Here we go.
February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood, so it is at night, pitch black. What you will see here are these 2 points of light believed to be people with flashlights in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues.
We have had several clips that have come in.
And this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see 2 light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it. I know there's not much to see here. You certainly cannot identify anyone, but those close to the investigation tell me the mere fact that there is now evidence that someone is in the area around Sebastian's home is significant.
2 days ago, Nick decided to revisit his exclusive story on the flashlights in the backyard. He said all he has was the clip he showed, and he obtained exclusively. He just highlights the 2 light images moving around after dark near the home. As far as he knows, this is the only home security video taken from the area the night Sebastian disappeared that shows anything of potential significance. He confirms that the video has been scrutinized by authorities and is in the case file. Investigators revealed that the footage was viewed and it has no evidentiary value. However, they don't rule out the possibility of that changing if new evidence surfaces. He asked investigators what they thought the source of the lights were, and they declined to say.
Okay, guys, and I just wanted to read this really quick before we get into it. So when I looked up, I was asking ChatGPT, of course, because I'm like, I don't know what to do here. So what's the best way to clean up the Ring camera audio? So it says cleaning up Ring camera audio requires a slightly different approach than normal recordings. Ring audio is often heavily compressed and riddled with wind, rumble, which we heard that in this original, or the closest. Again, quick disclaimer, when we're dealing with this Ring audio, this was supposedly taken from a Facebook group. So it was uploaded from whoever had the Ring camera audio. They uploaded it and then people ended up sharing it out. And that's how this transpired. So this is not an original. So all I've done was put in the sample enhancements. I didn't put the first version in, but just know that that's what I use. And there was wind rumble. There wasn't outdoor traffic that I could hear, but there was also a lot of digital static and hiss in it, right? Where you can hear like the gurgling, the gargling, the hiss, the static, and the wind. Okay, so I removed all of that. And it says the best way to fix this, it depends on whether you are trying to enhance an already recorded clip to hear what someone said, or if you want to fix a live audio issue happening right now. And of course, I typed in, I have an already recorded clip. But I just wanted to kind of, let you guys know that there's a slightly different approach that we would take in order to achieve these samples. And that's what I did. And I used 2 different apps to, um, you know, recreate these enhancements.
Declined to say.
The last time
Okay, guys, so there's a couple of things, and I see Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. So a couple of things that I can hear in all of them, but I like sample 5 the best. So you guys can let me know if you want to put the number of the sample you like the best, or if you want me to go back and listen to any of these samples. These samples are all different, right? And I've taken a new copy in, uploaded it, cleared it up, right? You can use different methods of doing this. So these different samples that I've done here are all different, but I do think that it's the same piece of audio, all cleared up in a different way, using a couple of different apps that anybody can get. 5 is my favorite. Jenny, you like 5 too. Jenny likes 5 too. Hey, Jenny. And also, thank you guys for coming in. I do see others joining too, also. So, and you're very welcome, Patty. You guys are welcome. This is just all, because I know you guys are very interested in this audio, and I am too, because there's a few things that I can hear One being go home, right? And that's at the end. And another thing that I can hear also is, oh my God. Like Katie says, oh my God. And Chris is saying, go home, go home. And Joe, I know it sounds like demons, or what is it? When you play Ozzy Osbourne backwards or something. Okay, I get it. Like I get it. And I understand. It's really like weird, right? It's like garbled up. And again, all I wanted to do in that the fifth one is really focusing in on people's voices. YouTuber, also you said, so YouTuber says, so glad you were talking about this audio. LE has it, but nothing has been done about it. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, because anything that's been tampered with, like this has been obviously tampered with, because I'm telling you exactly the process, right? Like when I'm saying I enhanced it, this is an AI program that enhances and does these things for me, right? Like I press the button and it did it for me. That is not something that LE is going to want to accept from me, because they're the ones that want to do this on their own. And again, they have way better tools and stuff to do it than I do. But I think it's interesting because of what we're hearing in this, right? When we take all of the wind, the hissing, all of that out. I was going to put it maybe in like a slow motion or slow it down, but I figured we can analyze it several times. I also feel like there was more audio out there. Does anybody know if there's more to this audio? Or is this all? Because this was about 29 seconds. This was all 29 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of this through, and then we'll go back over the audio 5.
I saw my son was when he went to bed, December 7th. He turned 16. The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed, December 7th. He turned 16, and he should be home for that.
Okay, guys, so I just wanted to play that through, and I do like that song too. Thank you, Titch. Yeah, like the ticking, like it's like TikTok, guys. But I feel like it's been like that for so long with the Proud Feet. It's like, what is going on with those two? Why have they not been taken in, right? So I'm thinking number 5. Let me go ahead and play this again. And again, guys, I know this is a pain, but you don't have to do it tonight. If you want to go back, I did upload this as a video. You can put the earbuds in, and I did enhance the audio by turning it up in each one of them too, one time, because I didn't want to distort the sound, the words more. And I also want to put the disclaimer in that, like, when I tried to do closed captioning on the best one, that even, well, I tried to do it on any of them, but when I did the fifth one, it still said no audio detected. Okay, so that part I heard, oh my God. And I can hear that in every single one. And of course, like, what does that mean, right? Is going to be very much up to interpretation, even if we can say, okay, I definitely heard. But she says, oh my God, like that, right? So I'm just going to back it up again and just, so maybe if you guys didn't catch it the first time, and tell me what you think, because that's what I can hear is, oh my God, like that. See, I heard, oh my God. And see, this is another reason that took me so long to do this, because I'm like, we're never going to make out what they're saying, but I could definitely hear that part. Oh my God. You know, whatever it was, oh my God, right there. And that would be like at about, let's see, I'm going to say 524. Let's see. Okay, no, it was 27. It was 27. Okay, let me try back to. Okay. So it's like, I know, Holly, it is a trigger warning, because it's like, what are they doing? Is she see, this is what I'm thinking. If she said, oh my God, like that, I'm thinking that maybe she was like, I had to carry Sebastian from point A to point B, right? And again, I want to say this too, just because I think that at the 3 a.m. lights, that maybe Sebastian was carried out to a car, right? Just because I say that, that doesn't mean that I think Sebastian is no longer with us. What I'm saying is that I think maybe he didn't want to go to wherever she was showing him at the Texas Roadhouse or whatever, because I definitely think that the conversation may have been about that. It may have been about where Sebastian was going. So, did you hear it, Pixie Girl? That's the one part of it I can make out, is that part. And you really do have to use the earbuds and, turn them up. I think even on my computer, I have it at like a 50, and I can hear it pretty good. So I don't want to bust your guys' eardrums, but yeah, I mean, you may have to turn it up even a little bit more, just because, like I said, I didn't want to distort it any further by continuing to up the volume level, because that would distort. And I'm not sure about working with the synthesizers. So I'm just not sure, but yes. And I appreciate you so much, Ava. I'm like, I'm totally out of my element, but these apps are very easy to work. Like, they just kind of do it. The AI does it for us, right? Like, some of the apps that we have at our fingertips are amazing, so you got the good headphones on. Yes, I need to get my Beats where I have like the full and then listen too. So you heard it on your TV too, Patty? Oh my, okay, so that's good. I just didn't want to distort it too much. All right, guys, and then we'll listen to a little bit more, because I know I can hear the part where Chris says to go home, in my opinion. So it was like right there, like go home. I heard it a couple of times, but the very last go home is better. So let's just back that up a little.
The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to back that up a little bit more. So he's like, go home, go home, go home. I think maybe 3 times. The last one was like more commanding or demanding, maybe even commanding. Like, go home. Like, go do it, right? Go home. So, really? Okay. And Holly, you know, I'm like, I love to put that music past 11, you know, in my earbuds. So, for these intents and purposes, I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have busted my, you know, it's like my eardrums and stuff. Listening to too much loud music. So good. You guys can hear it? Oh, good. Oh, good. It really cleared it up and took the background out. That was what I really liked about that app, too. And I, you know, not a sponsor or anything, but, you know, that app was awesome. So, and it is, you know, the AI. So, yeah. Why are you lying, Katie? Why are you lying, Katie? Stop lying. So, oh, good. I'm glad. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. Lady, if you slow it down some too helps remove the echoing, in my opinion. Okay, so let me slow it down. Let's play the 5. Let's play 5 all the way through again, and I'll slow it down for you guys too. I will sure do that. Give me 1 second. I wonder if YouTube will give us the closed captioning. Oh, playback speed. Here we go. Probably not too much. Maybe like a quarter of the way. Sorry, the music's gonna be creepy. Mm-hmm.
The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed.
All right. Hey, country guy, good to see you. So, yeah, guys, I just say that because one time I put a really good headphones on, blew my mind. My mind was blown, right? Exactly, Holly. I know, because like the certain ones, right? Like it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. I think it does sound like CP too. I do. So, brash but respectful. Brash but respectful. So, yes, I like the beats. MC, there could be some truth to your statement, in my opinion, says Rosebud. Did I miss something? Go home, and KP says, okay. Oh, okay. Oh. I know, SI officer. It does mine too, because they're just crazy. I mean, think about it. I got this off of Evil Exists, the YouTube channel. So interesting. This tells us Chris was definitely there that night, in my opinion. Yeah. And why would he get so upset about his truck being found when they did the geofencing? And even that was all messed up, Yeah, Poppy Love, the only thing I can think of would be to do AI, but I would just be so hesitant to do that because like we're not professionals. We're not, you know what I mean? And I have seen some. I would hope that the Center for Missing and Exploited Children would do one for Sebastian. Um, which is upsetting when you think about how Katie's never reached out to them, and Seth has told us that. Um, it's just so sad. So I think it was from a Facebook page, exactly, and that's why I also put Justin in from Clutch Them Pearls, because in this audio in the beginning, I took the two out, but you could also hear Justin, like before it starts. So I knew that the source of Evil Exists audio was Justin, and of course, I trust Justin. Um, when it comes to like the information that he's putting out. So I believe that that would be the best one for me to work with too. Um, because, I do believe he got it from the Facebook group. I really do. So I think that's the original source. However, I don't know if there's more than just this. So, you know, and again, like a lot of these things are so great to revisit now that we know what we know. Um, so okay, 1.75. Okay, or excuse me, 0.75. Okay, that's what I did. Well, great. I'm glad I did that too. And I'm glad you suggested that because it did help us kind of, I mean, I can definitely hear, oh my God, like I could definitely hear that part. And so I was surprised and shocked that in all three of them I could hear it. Um, so oh, okay, the comment about the lights video. Okay, Rosebud, I must have missed it. I'm sorry, guys. Um, you want to slow it down a little bit more, Detroit? Sure thing. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. We'll do 50. Of course you would go to 55, you little stinker. Hold on a second. Oh, 45. Hold on. What? Okay. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. Now we'll do. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. I think it's 511. Oop. Oh, you know what I wanted to do too is see if we could do the closed captionings as well. It said no audio detected, but let's see what it does for us if we do that. And oh, here we go.
The last time I saw my son.
Okay, sorry, and I did slow jam Katie in this one too. I think I liked it better at the 75 mark. Let me try it at like, okay, let's try it. maybe at 80. But I think maybe the 75 mark was a good one. Oh my God. See here. Go home right there. I could hear go home.
The last time.
Okay. So, but Poppy Love says also his truck was pinged in the area, wasn't it? Don't talk about my truck. Allegedly, we should put together every time CP throws a temper tantrum. He tells on himself, in my opinion. Yes. Well, and you know, the triggers, what makes him jump on the panel is very important to note, in my opinion, right? Like what triggers him to get up on the panel? What is the reason, right? Don't talk about my truck. Don't talk about my mama. Don't talk about my pee-pee pants. No, I'm just kidding. I added that one at the end. But, I've never doubted that he was there ever. And that's the thing, Detroit. We do not know, and we do not have an alibi for Proudfoot. Here's Seth with a full alibi. Proudfoot, 0. I mean, really, nobody's been able to really pinpoint it down. And again, a lot of creators went out there. Bullhorn Betty, Silver's on the Scene. These creators that went out there and talked to potential witnesses to Mr. Proudfoot's whereabouts and were none the wiser. Did law enforcement ever get what they were supposed to be looking for? Right? If they had to badge in and out of their job site, then why can't that be public knowledge at the very least? At the very least, why can't they let Seth at least sleep a little easier at night, knowing where Mr. Proudfoot was the night that his son disappeared, seeing as, you know, how Mr. Proudfoot, quote, hated the child and wanted the child unalived, end quote. And yes, I made that a little bit nicer because, you know, it really makes me sick. It's disgusting that he had to fear Mr. Chris. It's so gross. I heard two guys' voices. One of CP and another voice sounds more gravelly, harsh sounding, in my opinion. I think it's so hard to make out the voices, but I think there could be two voices. I think there could be, you know, I do. The one that says, oh my God, like what, oh my God, I think that is Katie. I do. There is more audio. There is more audio, Deborah. I thought so. Yeah. Okay, so the source was Evil Exists and Justin got a hold of it. So does Evil Exist have the whole entire audio out there? So, I mean, Patty, let me get Evil Exists link. Hold on a second. I'm not sure if we put it in there or not because I haven't been able to catch everything in chat, but I'll grab it really quick too. Because yeah, I would like to, you know, play the whole thing, and I'll plug it into that app as well. So because they've done a lot of good videos. They've put a lot of good videos out there as well. Pertaining to Sebastian Rogers' case, also Summer Wells, I believe they covered too. So, but yes. I know Crime Time Buzz also covered the audio. Well, that's weird. I wonder why I can't find their channel. Or someone with 7 subscribers, and I know that's not them because I think they have more than that. Um, that's strange. Kind of makes it seem like an accident, like things went too far during an accident of abuse. Yeah, and I mean, like we can kind of interpret it in a couple of different ways, right, Holly? I mean, we can. CP claimed his truck pinged after he arrived home on Monday. But my question would be, why would they need geofencing hours after Sebastian went missing? Yeah, I mean, you would think they would do the geofencing for the day before. Exactly, Cajun. That's a great point. I mean, it's like, what? Yeah, like, and he was saying that they like pinged his well, and it was on Elevated Truth's channel, that they pinged his phone in the area um after the fact. So I don't understand why they wouldn't do it. I mean, maybe even for the entire weekend, but at the very least, like Sunday into Monday, seeing who was there, because a lot of the times they were saying midnight to 6, midnight to 6. And it was like, well, why do you guys keep saying midnight to 6? Another, big thing is like in the area of Stafford Court, not his mom's house. One YouTube creator gave it an XLE rated guide to clear it up a little. If I can find it, I'll email it to you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, YouTubers here. Yeah, I mean, look, they're going to know the best technology to use as well. And I mean, if I could at least, and again, it wouldn't be something that would be probably, law enforcement worthy. Unfortunately, I wish that it would be, but that's why it's so important to make sure the FBI has this so that they can work with it. And I'm really, really hoping that it was given to them. And if not, maybe we could resend it over there if just for good measure, So Deborah Dixon says, we just haven't spent a lot of time on this Ring camera audio. It got lost in the background, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that too, Deborah Dixon. It did. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I've never even visited it. I'm not even revisiting it. I'm just now visiting it. So, and I agree. Yeah, it needs to go to the FBI, right? It does. Oh yeah. So put him in the back, female voice, not KP. In my opinion, KP says, oh my God. And KP says, I've had it. Okay, I'm going to listen for some of the phrases you guys are saying, because again, that's how, I might have missed something. So it's clear. You think it came out pretty clear, Tony? It's just my first try, so hopefully hopefully like we can still analyze more of it, and I would like to if there's more. And that would be a good starting off point if somebody tried to clear it up also. But I would like to take a crack at it. It definitely took the hissing out, and the background noise. I think it did. I hope we didn't lose anything in that process. That's the only thing that makes me nervous, because I don't know, if we lost anything in the process of it. So, Lil Brat says, I can't make it out. Yeah, Rosebud said she couldn't make it out either. She said she didn't hear any of it in there. So, which that's fine, you guys, because we're all going to hear something different. And that's why I think even videos like the trash can video of Sebastian supposedly taking the trash can to the end of the driveway would be nice if we could all see it and make up our own minds at least, you know? I mean, at the very least, let us do that. And of course, we're going to go back and forth. It's going to happen, right? I don't think so. Yes, it will. No, it won't. Duck season, wabbit season, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that when we're speculating and having an open conversation. You know, we can't get mad about it. We just have to say, I didn't hear anything. If you didn't hear anything, you didn't. And that's the thing. We're people. We're not sheeple. We all have our own brains thinking independently. So, oh, okay. Now, I don't know. Crime Time Buzz might have ran it through her own. See, and that's the thing. I was so hoping that the closed captioning would pick something up. You know what I mean? And now, again, closed captioning isn't always spot on, but it would have been nice if some words may have came through. Um, so yeah, well, that's a good question too. How is Wi-Fi in his truck? Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, okay, no, his Wi-Fi in his truck. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, they're all gonna have a different signal and it's gonna attach and it's a how do I want to say it? They're all unique. It's all unique. So it's not like mine would be confused for yours and your, you know, vice versa or anything like that. Like that's another thing I don't understand. And like we did an episode over here, Cajun, about and it was a long time ago, but I took some information from Yale University. They did like a panel and they were talking about geofencing technology. And they use what is called a stingray. And it's really interesting because like how it works. And I know a lot of you guys, you know this, know how it all works, but I'll just say how it works is like instead of the pings going to the cell tower, it draws it all to the stingray and then they get all of the information, but it's really, really accurate, like how they can pinpoint people and where, excuse me, and where, like even in their house, things like that. So it's so crazy, but we did, and it would be totally unique. Like he wouldn't be able to be like in another area and then pick up his unique address for his Wi-Fi, you know, from his truck. And it's just crazy. I think Crime Time Buzz was the one who gave the audio to an XLE related guy who cleaned it up a little bit more. Okay, thank you, YouTuber. And see, that's why, oh my gosh, whoever has that audio, please, I implore you, give it to the FBI again. Please, please, please. So hey, YouTuber. Oh, okay. See the last message. And thank you for being a member for 2 months. Sorry. She's like, I'll get your attention. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I did get it's this one. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so see, I did get sent that version too. We were looking at that. Actually, Bo and I were looking at that one, and it was like, okay. I was like, is there? Maybe I need to just go back and listen to that one too, and see if I can find any differences. So, Holly says Justin said he sent to the FBI, but I definitely think it should be sent again. Yeah, Holly, and especially the raw copy, like with no hands that have touched it, straight off of the Ring camera, right? Like, so that is so important for them to be able to do their own So they have that original, and then that metadata that would be, again, unique to that piece of audio coming from that particular Ring camera. All of that matters at trial, for us, we can all speculate, of course, and say different things and theories. But when it comes to them actually being able to use it as evidence, they would need to be the ones to do any enhancements, if that, makes sense. So, yeah, he did Cinderella. Yeah. And this is where that's where I got this piece from. Evil Exists and Justin. Because in the beginning you can hear, I should have probably left the original in there, but in the beginning you can hear Justin, and he'll say, he said, "I love you too, boo boo," or something like that to someone in the audience. Because evil exists, he says, and actually I could probably, if I could find, let me see if I can't find them too. Maybe it's evil_exists, because I want to get you guys this link anyway, if we haven't put it in there yet. But I could probably play the... Oh, here it is. It is underscore. Hello. There we go. By George, I think we got it. Okay, hold on. Let's copy that. Okay, so here is the Evil Exists channel. So definitely go and sub up to them for their amazing work, because I know they've done so much, like in all the cases. Jack and Lily. See, I see a video for Jack and Lily. Okay. So let's see. Missing persons. Do they have one for Sebastian? Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. I do not want that. Let's see. Do this. Oh, sorry. There we go. All right. And just bear with me. Because it's going to be in the ones that I've watched today. Secret Lead. Oh, no, that's Mr. Mrs. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do it this way. Because I know I watched it today. Creepy audio. Go home. Go home. Okay, there it is. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. And let me just go ahead and I'll share this video so you guys can see like the whole one. It's a short. They usually do little shorts. And just put like the highlighted info in it, which they, like I said, they cover lots and lots of cases too. All right, so give me a second. Let me share this with you. All right, because he's saying, I mean, even he is saying, go home, go home. And it's like, okay, strange, right? So give me a second and let me get to the point where they do this. And I'll tell you, this is exactly where I got it from.
Confirms that the video has been scrutinized by authorities and is in the case file. Investigators revealed that the footage was viewed, and it has no evidentiary value. However, they don't rule out the possibility of that changing if new evidence surfaces. He asked investigators what they thought the source of the lights were,
I
and they
love
declined to
Shay.
say.
Love
Others
Shay.
close to the case claimed the lights were either floodlights or from a garbage truck. Nick believes that it looks more like a flashlight or cell phone light. Let's get to this piece of audio now.
Love you too, Gogo.
Here's Justin. Okay.
Love you too, Gogo. Love you too, Gogo.
Piece of audio now.
Love you too, Gogo.
It's been floating.
Okay, so it said, "Oh my God," and then it said, you know, I could hear him say, "Go home, go home." And again, I do think this was cleaned up from the original just by listening to it again here.
It's been floating around for a few days now, some claiming that this audio could be heard on that footage, and you just have to listen with headphones. It sounds like someone is saying, "Go home," and then a whole lot of muffled sounds. That audio is apparently not from the original footage, and is possibly from someone recording off a screen or something. The original footage that Nick Beers had has no audio. Nick believes the
Right. So, and I'll just say too, this one was 2 years ago. So they said a couple of days ago. So June 20th, 2024 is when this was, made by Evil Exists. And he said it's been floating around for a couple of days now, out on the streets. So, yeah. But it was heard in the cleanup that CP and KP to lock the front door also. I remember that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so much has been said. Yeah, oh my God, for sure. And "Go home," I can hear for sure. And it is muffled. It is muffled. SI officer says, is this the audio that supposedly KP had stated, "It's okay, Bubba," and allegedly CP responded with, "He's gone." So, yes. And I think that might have been in a different part of it too, because I do remember, and it could have been the wind or something like that, but I do remember hearing like a woman crying, and you could kind of hear like a muffled crying. But it's really difficult to make it out. And like I said, I did try to isolate the voices using the AI technology. So thank you, Holly. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't find it for the longest time. And then I'm like, underscore, which one do I, because I usually will, search it by the @ symbol. So yeah, great channel. And again, just somebody that puts the information out there, fair, honest reporting. And it's like, it's interesting because, of course, this is the Nick Barris video from before the subject 1 and subject 2. And you can see them moving, through the common area. And I could even show you guys maybe right here. We can go here and play it. And the thing is you could see them moving about, and then you see the subject 2 coming from the residence, right? Here's that big ditch. Here's that big ditch. And then, of course, you see the light source meet up with this one, and then they go back to the house. And, and this is when Nick Barris broke this. It was very early on in the case, and then he backtracked. He backtracked, and Eric Craddock says there's no evidentiary value. That's where you can see Katie going back to the house, and she does turn the light off a little bit here and there, or could be obstructed by bushes, but you definitely see the subject moving about, and the other one kind of meeting, up with that other person. And if Katie's saying, oh my God, she might be like, oh my gosh, that was a tough thing to do, to carry Sebastian out for the handoff. My Lord, you remember her saying, I love you in one of the audios? It really makes me nervous thinking about what could have happened to the former sheriff. Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't even think he had as much knowledge as, maybe he would have if he wasn't retiring, Holly. And I still, feel that. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So, yeah, the way it happened, Jenny, exactly. Just a little too coincidental. Yep. The way it happened and where it happened, all shady, in my opinion. I agree. Yeah. Are you okay, Bubba? You've heard, are you okay, Bubba? Okay. Yeah, YouTuber, if you can get it, I'll put it through that and see what we can come up with, because it's interesting. It's all interesting. And it just makes us wonder. And, again, when we've heard other audio from the neighborhood, we can hear the cars whizzing by, I mean, you can't pick up a whole heck of a lot. I mean, but again, if somebody comes to your house and you have the Ring camera, that's kind of what they're designed to do, is to, so you can be like, hello, or whatever, so they do pick up audio. And it's odd that there wasn't more audio in the neighborhood. We should probably be able to see the surveillance in the neighborhood, especially if there's nothing to see. Why can't we see what's going on? If there's really nothing to see. I think that really, leads me to believe that there is something to see. Hello, Ann Brock. Good to see you. So good to see you. So, but yeah, I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. That's the original. And of course I took from that one, plugged it in to the AI. The different samples they're all going to be different, but the same audio, just different sampling. Some of them are going to have less aggressive filtering and things like that on them. And of course, it's always up, for discussion and interpretation, because we really just don't know, and it's interesting to listen back. Well, hello, Ann Brock. Good to see you. So, I mean, it's just all kind of interesting to kind of go over everything. Scranton says, in my opinion, I bet there was CP and KP, or Fishy Fish, got it first. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because the thing about Steve Fisher is he definitely came on the scene really, really late in the game, and anything that he's ever presented to us that he, has put out there hasn't really been anything too big, except for, when he tries to put, like a blur line over something, and we're able to remove that. I mean, those things are like really easy to remove. Especially again with technology, it's easy to slap it on there and it's easy to take it off of there, but I just don't understand why people weren't, doing their due diligence that had the footage. I wish they would have done a better job. Um, I really do. So, yeah. Are you okay, Bubba? See, well, I mean, the people should still have it. I would think, Crazy Bird. I mean, I don't know what these neighbors have done with the footage, if they will release, what they will release. I just don't know. It's really up to them, I think. But then again, nobody wants to get in trouble for obstruction or interference, things like that. It can be really tricky. I mean, we've even heard that, recently, um, in Sebastian's case, with everything that Chris and Katie are telling YouTubers behind the scenes. And then these YouTubers are stuck with that information, and it's, kind of information maybe that is relevant. It's just a heavy burden to carry. So that's why anybody comes across any more important information, send it to the FBI, resend it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as an officer, and it's like, especially if you have a tip or anything like that, you have to be sending it over there. And you know, we know that Seth is working with an FBI liaison. So any information that's sent pertaining to Sebastian's case would go, I'd imagine, to that person. And, again, it's just very odd to me knowing that Seth has been so out of the loop on so much of the stuff. And to see him doing the most out there, it's really sad to think that people would hide information or withhold information. Um, and again, I don't see what the problem would be showing the public the trash can video, so we can see it, you know? So, it's just unfortunate. I feel like Chris went to the neighbors one by one and got their footage from them, probably intimidating them and using other facts, in my opinion. Unbelievable. Yeah, Holly, and a lot of it was uploaded to the Facebook group, like their neighborhood Facebook. And that's wild to me too. I mean, why would they upload it there? Why wouldn't they just give it straight to law enforcement? I mean, I guess, but there, maybe we would never see it if it wasn't there. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, Bobby did allude to him doing that. She did. Yeah, and we also heard Bobby say that, Sebastian was carried out. I mean, that somebody was well, I'll just say this, that somebody was carrying something. And then she got attacked by SF Investigates for that, in my opinion. We don't know who went to the house collecting, etc., and if it's still available to resend, etc. Yeah, we just don't know. There's so many unknowns. Yeah, SI officer, that's why I'm saying, like, people really need to understand that if people are telling you that they know 100% for certain on anything, I would take that with a grain of salt. I'd be like, don't insult my intelligence, kind of thing. Because look, a lot of that stuff is just going to be clickbait. It's not going to be the real facts of anything, and it's not evidence of anything, in my opinion. There's just there's far too much misinformation as it is. And remember what Seth says, listen to him, listen to what he's saying. Nobody has ever said that they knew exactly when Sebastian was using his switch at either one of the parents' households. Nobody has come out with that information. Nobody would know that information. If Chris wasn't home, like he alleges he wasn't, he would definitely not know that information. We know that when Seth went over to the house in the morning, he said that he looked in Sebastian's room and his switch was plugged in to the wall, lying on the floor. His cell phone was still plugged in. So yeah, his cell phone was plugged in, and in the kitchen. And then we know that Sebastian was grounded at that time, so even his TV was taken and put in Chris's RV. So we know that as well. I can't believe how my heart is racing, and the audio was always the biggest piece of evidence to what happened that night, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think that it says a lot if that's the audio from one of the Ring cameras. I think it's a very important piece to everything. That should tell us that there was definitely people in the area. I mean, we can see it and hear it. So, yeah, runs with scissors. I would think so. I would definitely think so. Yeah, if I was her, I would be too. Holly, in the beginning, they said Chris went to pick up footage from the neighbors. He never should have been allowed to do that. I agree with that. And they were also giving him. Seth said that the neighbors were giving Chris and showing Chris the footage, and they were not doing that for him. They should have been giving it to law enforcement, for sure. I mean, Chris is the one who is probably the most likely suspect other than Katie, because Katie was with him last, and we know that for a fact. But with Chris, I mean, he had the motive completely. It's either him or me. You know, he was saying things like that to Sebastian too, allegedly. So, I know it's hard to trust anybody as an officer, but I do trust Seth's judgment. I do trust him on that, because he's had to really have his guard up as well, as anybody would. So, yeah, I'm hoping the attorney can help too. And I don't even think that, he would take a case on like this if he didn't think he could win it. And Scranton says, Titch, if this audio has any validity, it totally dismisses the he never made it home theory. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, that's why it's tough, right? Because we don't know if he made it home or not, Scranton. We just don't. And two things can't be true at the same time with this one either. It's like either he made it home or he didn't. Which one is it? Can't have it both ways. So, and we can't believe that the lights, were the way that Sebastian made it out if he didn't even make it home, So here's my theory on something was carried out if Sebastian didn't make it home. The 3 a.m. lights and movement in common area was KP bringing out a bag of his clothes and received the clothes he wore at the Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion. Well, they kept the Texas Roadhouse clothes for the scent dogs. So we know that the Texas Roadhouse clothes were definitely used for scent. I bet they set him up for that too, being grounded so he would not have a available phone. Right. Holly, that was a big piece and a big bombshell that was released lately from Seth's mouth. And, again, I would so urge people to listen to what Seth has said. And, he's, again, been consistent. We don't catch him like lying or saying things and then backtracking and saying, no, that's not what I said, or any of that. So I think it's a very good idea to listen to what he says, because that was a huge bombshell. I mean, you know, just in it all of the things that he has answered for recently have been helpful, and like little, you know, nuggets to put, you know, little puzzle pieces, you know, to add to the puzzle. So good night, witchy mama. I know I'm gonna have to get off of here too, guys, because I have a lot to work on for you all, in terms of getting out some of what Elevated Truth had said on the last live that he did with, it's called they're called the YouTube Streets. So I did want to pull some of the audio from that and do a short video, like a clip video, probably maybe 20 minutes. You know, my short is 20 minutes. But I like to keep people in context, and Elevated Truth did go up there and answer some questions. You know, and I'm going to try to leave mostly just the things pertaining to Sebastian's case in there. And then I also have a few other things that I wanted to work on. If you guys do have the audio, though, that you guys would like me to work with, definitely send it to me. And again, I just want to put the disclaimer in that, you know, whatever we speculate on in terms of this audio isn't going to be a smoking gun or evidence in Sebastian's case. It is going to be simply, you know, taking the audio and discussing the possibilities, right? Not necessarily, because the only audio that is going to be valuable for law enforcement would be the person whose Ring camera it came from, giving that straight to law enforcement, FBI, all day, you know. And again, you know, like Smiley was saying on her live that I shared on my community wall, if you have information, get it to law enforcement. If you see Sebastian, call 911, say his name, see if it's Sebastian. If you say Sebastian and he turns around, it's going to be Sebastian, you know. And Seth's email is on his channel. Seth's email is readily available to everybody, and it's wearesebastiansarmy@gmail.com, no apostrophe. But you know, Seth Rogers has a channel again, and that's where you can get his email and just go there and send him the information as well, so that he can ensure, you know, that he's able to follow up on things. He does have a private investigator, you know, and of course, if you want to support his channel, you can do that by going to his channel. If you would like to support him, you could do that by going to his channel and picking up a Cash App, sending him money for coffee. You know, things like that are really important, guys. That's the way that we support and help the parents of a missing child. That's what we can do to help. And I also wanted to tell you guys too, you know, becoming a walking billboard for Sebastian is super important. Because it helps tremendously with awareness. Seth has created merch that has the QR codes and different things to help get people exactly to where they need to be to help. Okay? And those are the best ways that we can help Seth, you know. Titch says, keep in mind. Oh, hey, Seth. I didn't even know you were in here. So Titch says, Seth, and please keep in mind, I don't think Emma Motero ever said it came from a neighbor's Ring camera. So it doesn't mean that it was at the same time as the flashlights. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what time it came from. We don't even know what neighbor's house it came from. That those are the biggest takeaways. And again, I won't ever tell you guys, oh, this is definitely this or that unless I know for sure. There's always going to be a caveat expressed when there is one. I just asked to pass out flyers and talk of Sebastian in a positive manner. Yeah, I appreciate that too, Seth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't help but wonder if if CP and KP go to public restaurants being on CCTV proof she was with Sebastian last, him allegedly having an alibi. He thought she'd be arrested and he'd basically be done. Two birds with one stone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And that's the thing, Jessica, everybody's theory is valid. Everybody's theory is valid. Scranton says 1000%. So, it's like, yeah. For all we know, that could have been the car that picked up the recording. I found out that new cars actually record outside sounds. Yeah. Yeah. I am not sure. It would be nice if we got clarity on it. But again, it's kind of hard, who put it out, where did it come from? And that's another reason why, I haven't speculated on it too much. This is the first time I've ever even played it, because I'm like, I don't know. So, it was never even confirmed that it came from a neighbor, just that it was posted in the neighbor's Facebook page. And it could have been leaked to them. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely. So, well, good, Bo. I'm glad you made it home safe. So, but yeah. Good night, Crazy Bird. Good night. I question the motorcycle shopping and the plot there, in my opinion. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is they've never done anything. They've just never done anything to help the situation, in my opinion, when it comes to any of that kind of stuff either. As an officer, they just haven't. So, well, yeah, I mean, they don't look too happy. And, this casino photo is the best that we can, really go off of. And they really don't look like they're enjoying their time, in my opinion. They don't. They look like they're, not having the best time at all, and Ann Brock, we're always praying for you, girl, just so you know. CP has done his best to put KP front and center, and it's not going to save him, but he's tried and tried, in my opinion. Yeah, and I mean, he's definitely spoken for Katie plenty of times. Unfortunately, she's gotten away with a lot of stuff and not having to speak publicly, and that sort of thing. So, you guys are awesome. So, But yeah, I don't think either one of them looked happy. Yeah, I don't think either one of them are happy. I mean, they thought that it was gonna be overlooked. They thought they underestimated the entire situation. You know, Holly says, I don't think he's been happy with her in years. No. And, the thing about a narcissist is they're never happy with themselves. So they're never going to be happy with anybody else, So they're never going to be happy with anybody else. They just are miserable beings, and it's sad. So, but yeah, he looks like a miserable bastard. So, yeah. Well, and I mean, the more that they go out and stuff, I mean, anybody that's just going to sit around at the house and not do anything is probably, as we get older. So, I mean, now that they're going out and doing more things, but, they need to do more to help find Sebastian, in my opinion. So, well, anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here so I can get some of this other stuff pumped out to you guys. I might take another day off this week because I wanted to do a live with Jen also. So I want to do something like that. So we'll see. Because I do want to get some of these videos out to you guys, and then that way it'll give me a little bit of time. Like, when I say day off, I just mean like not be on live. Because there's been a couple of things too that I wanted to check over and see if I can find some clips from Elevated Truth too. So, thank you, Titch. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Bo. Yeah, I'm glad we got some of the audio. And like I said, I'll work to find some more of it. And if you have some, just send it over. Like if there's something that you guys want me to work on or work with, or, we can always speculate. That's the great thing about, Night Court and, kind of the people's opinion, the court of public opinion, because, none of our theories have to stick up in court. We can just talk about them here. But again, just stressing the importance of considering the sources, really getting this information over to law enforcement, from the source. So, and Lil Brat, I cannot say either way, heads or tails of that either. I mean, in my opinion, and I've thought for a long time that it was premeditated, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be some kind of new information that would make me believe otherwise, right? Like where somebody came out and presented some facts to the contrary, I'd be like, okay, maybe it was an accident, right? Maybe something happened and it was a spur of the moment thing, something went too far. Sebastian fell and hurt himself on an accident and they didn't know what to do. But, some of these scenarios would be absolutely deliberate. And I absolutely think that it's possible that Sebastian's being held somewhere. And in that case, that would be deliberate, so it's just one of those things, but I mean, that doesn't mean that, because I'm very open-minded to the possibilities. On certain things, I'm pretty adamant about, but then other things I'm open-minded. I will say that, the real thing is we just don't know. So I'm never going to be like, well, that person's completely wrong, unless it just completely doesn't make sense. I do, think it's important for all of us to work our theories all the way through, you know what I mean? And not just get stuck on one. Like, that's why I'm angry with Sheriff Craddock. Well, I'm operating off of the assumption that Sebastian walked off. It's like, well, you need to operate off of more than just an assumption, and you need to operate off of the evidence, Seth says if it was an accident, then they should have admitted then. And yeah, I agree with that. And then otherwise you start compounding the breaking of laws even worse. Right. And I agree with that too, Seth, because I mean, an accident is an accident, but the more that you cover it up, the more you're liable for, knowingly covering it up. And yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's possible something was planned and it went down different than the way it was planned. And Jenny, I think that that's a smart comment too, because I mean, it's even more probable to me than possible, because you know I mean, there's always going to be something unexpected, especially when you're doing something so wrong as that, right? Like if you're planning on taking your child and hiding them and then calling them and reporting them missing, that is a big task to carry out, and something could definitely go wrong in that. Same goes for if there was like something where they deliberately hurt Sebastian also. I mean, yeah. And again, I have to stay open, but I also don't like to just, go into things and be like, well, I don't know. Like where you're getting into to details about stuff that you just don't know about. There is a certain point where you go too far on that too. So, right. Well, and there's Seth says so Sebastian is alive until otherwise informed, and there's no evidence to say that Sebastian isn't alive. And I think there's more evidence to say that he is than he isn't. Also, at this point, I mean, so Bo says absolutely right, absolutely right. So I mean, Tish says, I agree with you, Seth. I still believe that even with the audio, we just don't have the full context, which is why people assume the worst. Yeah, for sure, Tish. Yeah, and I mean, we can't assume the worst. That's the worst thing that we can do is lose hope and go against the evidence that we have. No evidence is evidence. Titch's lady, when we first heard this audio, I was friends with an officer that worked on the Shannon Matthews case. Remember I emailed you? Yes, I do. And she was an officer and the one that said that the recording came from a car. Oh, okay. Then she thought it came from like the car that has the recording and audio outside of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of theories that will Brett. There's so many theories, and I mean, it's not a bad thing to theorize, because even if you're on the wrong track, it can also get you to get on the right one, right? You just have to be willing to be open, and you can't just, double down or like dig your heels in and say like, oh, I'm right, especially if you don't truly know. But following the facts and the evidence is really hard in Sebastian's case because we have a lot of unknowns. So that's another thing that's tough, and something that we have to kind of combat as we go through it too. So, and of course, I'm trying to work on getting us a good timeline of events that we can work off of, like from the filing, and that sort of thing. So lots to do. And again, I just have still been trying to find any inkling of a yes or a no, a heads or tails of Chris's alibi. And there really is nothing out there. So of course, when it's alleged in that filing, I mean, it's alleged in the filing, and the filing is correct. And when you have a missing child, every single parent, which there's 3 in this case, should have had their alibis checked, and that's day one shit. Like our friend Cajun was in here and saying, botch from day one. That is day one. And they should have been working on those alibis, and they should have been going and working on the family. And allegedly they did, because they did that FAST 2.0 assessment on the family. And we know that that was on March 1st. We know they concluded that on March 5th. So, all right, guys. Well, I love you guys. Thank you, Bo, for putting in my email address as well. So, yeah, guys, definitely. And thank you so much for hitting the like button. You guys are amazing. I really love you guys. You guys are awesome. And like I said, keep an eye out. Like I said, tomorrow I'll probably be off of live for Night Court and just try to pump out some videos that we can, go over and review, and then we can move on to kind of getting a better timeline in place, because like I said, I have a lot kind of going in that regard too. So yeah, Holly, I agree. All it takes is one officer to care to change this. That's right. How many times do we see cold cases that are years and years out, and it just takes that one officer that comes in, pulls the files out, starts talking to other people, they get their heads together, they start going over reinvestigating. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like this. And 2.5 years is too long. Absolutely. But it's not too late to do the right thing. And, you're so right. Yeah, absolutely. Good night, Tony. Good night. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you guys a lot. All right, guys. Well, I will see you all next time.